OpenAI is no longer Microsoft's. The most exclusive deal in AI just got gutted. April 27, 2026, a Sunday. Both companies dropped blog posts at the same hour. Microsoft and OpenAI rewrote their contract. The exclusivity is over. Microsoft called it the next phase of the partnership. OpenAI called it freedom to serve customers anywhere. Both are right. Both are spinning. The actual deal is more interesting. Signed and announced April 27th, effective immediately. Microsoft stock barely moved. The market already priced this in. But this didn't start last week. It started in 2019. Microsoft put $1 billion into OpenAI in 2019. That bought exclusivity. Azure was the only cloud allowed to host their models, period. Microsoft followed with $13 billion more, $25 billion in compute commits over time. Buried in the contract was an AGI clause. If OpenAI's board declared they'd built AGI, Microsoft lost access. Nobody could agree on what AGI even meant. The clause was a ticking lawsuit. You got Azure OpenAI Service, GPT-3, GPT-4, GPT-4o, o1, o3. Every enterprise contract signed 2023 to 2025 assumed Azure was the door. Now ask yourself who actually held the leverage. The AGI clause is gone, removed from the contract entirely. Replaced by hard dates, 2030 for revenue, 2032 for IP. OpenAI still pays Microsoft 20% of revenue, but now it's capped. And it terminates in 2030, no matter what OpenAI builds. Microsoft used to send money the other way, from Azure usage. That share is gone. Microsoft keeps an IP license to OpenAI's models through 2032. But the license is now non-exclusive. That's the bombshell. OpenAI can now sell on AWS, on Google Cloud, Oracle, CoreWeave, anyone with GPUs and a checkbook. Microsoft still gets a $250 billion compute commit from OpenAI. They're not gone, just not alone. Let me show you what that means in actual code. Today on Azure OpenAI, you import the OpenAI SDK and use Azure AD. Tomorrow on AWS Bedrock, and same model, different SDK, SIG-v4 auth. Request body, surprisingly similar. Messages array, same. Response shape, also similar. The data is portable. The plumbing isn't. Auth is the breaking change. AAD on Azure. SIG-v4 on AWS. Service accounts on Vertex. Streaming format differs. SSE everywhere. But Bedrock wraps responses in a binary frame. Google Vertex AI uses GCP service accounts, bearer tokens, different region routing. Latency varies by cloud. AWS US East gets first token in 250 milliseconds. Azure West Europe is closer to 400. Same model. Different prices per cloud, sometimes 30% gap. Not every model lands on every cloud at launch. Day one access still favors Azure. Your fine-tuned weights? Not portable. They live where you trained. Embeddings? Easier. Same vectors. Just re-embed if dimensions shift. Function calling. Identical contract across all three clouds. That part is safe. Now here's what nobody is telling you about your contracts. AWS just posted 28% cloud growth, their best quarter in years. Azure grew 40%. Google Cloud grew 63%. 63? the fastest of the three. AWS already had Anthropic. Now they have OpenAI too. Anthropic just got a roommate. Google Cloud already runs Gemini. Now OpenAI lives there too. Gemini got a competitor in its own house. Azure remains OpenAI's primary, just no longer the only door. Here's the pricing leverage you just gained. You can now make AWS and Google bid for your OpenAI spend. That math didn't exist last week. If your enterprise contract is signed and Azure locked, you're locked. Read the SOW. If you're signing now, bring your own model. Bring your own cloud. Don't sign anything tied to one provider. Wait, this gets worse for one cloud you're not even thinking about. Oracle. They were the moonshot OpenAI host. Stargate, Texas. All of it. Oracle still has the compute deal. But now, they share the customer. CoreWeave wins. Specialty GPU clouds win. Pure play exclusivity is dying. OpenAI is reportedly prepping IPO paperwork. $500 billion valuation rumored. Multi-cloud is bullish for that valuation. More buyers, more revenue, less dependency. Sam Altman's quote, "Nobody's quoting." Sam said, "It's no longer about clouds, it's about reach." Satya said, "Microsoft retains everything that matters." Translation. Microsoft kept the IP, lost the gate. OpenAI kept the customers, lost the moat. 3 questions to ask Monday morning. 1. Is your enterprise contract Azure locked or model locked? 2. What's your latency budget per region? 3. What's your fine-tuned portability story? Honest answer. If you're Azure locked, stay. Don't rebuild for nothing. If you're cost-sensitive, dual deploy. Use Azure as primary, AWS or GCP as failover and bidding leverage. If regional latency matters more than vendor relationship, move where your users are. And here's the question that decides everything. If your CFO read the OpenAI press release tomorrow, would your AI strategy survive the meeting? Tell me below. Are you moving, dual deploying, or staying? One word. Content buffer.